I am continuing in my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am continuing reading in a chronological order, according to event, not according to publication or volume, so I'm skipping around a bit as I move along. We are continuing in the Gospels. Christ is still in Galilee. He has preached the Sermon on the Mount. He's continued his miracles, traveling around. He healed the centurion servant, the widow of Nain's son, and then he went in and he had dinner with the Pharisee Simon, and we had the story of the woman washing his feet with her tears. Great story, great little parable in there about the creditor. But now we continue on. We're going to be in Luke again. This will be chapter 8. This is going to be a very short reading. We're just going to read the first 3 verses. This is just kind of a transition, a little reading between other stories. In this video, we have a Joseph Smith translation. Now, what the Joseph Smith translation is, this is a translation or correction done by Joseph Smith to restore those passages that have been lost or corrupted over the years. So right here, verses 1 through 3. Chapter 8. And it came to pass afterward that he went throughout every city and village, preaching and shewing the glad tidings of the kingdom of God, and the 12 were with him. And certain women which had been healed of evil spirits and infirmities, Mary called Magdalene, out of whom went 7 devils, and Joanna the wife of Chuza, Herod's steward, and Susanna, and many others, which ministered unto him of their substance. This is a very, very short reading for us here. And this is just kind of describing the entourage of Christ as he's traveling around. He's going through all the towns, all the cities. And traveling with him are his 12 apostles and a number of women. We have Mary Magdalene, we have Joanna, who is the wife of Herod's steward. Now this is again Herod Agrippa, not Herod the Great. Herod the Great's already dead. Herod Agrippa, his steward, which would be one of the highest servants in the palace, in the court of King Herod. His wife is traveling with Christ. So we see Christ's influence is permeating throughout all of the land of Israel. And we also have Susanna, and we have other women, and they're all forming the party, the entourage of Christ. He's not just traveling by himself, and it's not just him and his 12 disciples. There are a number of other people who make up the party, and they're all traveling together. It's very interesting. This is also our first mention of Mary Magdalene, I think. She will become a very important figure later on, but this is our first mention of her. She had 7 devils cast out of her. We're not given the details of this event. We are just told that she had 7 devils cast out of her. Now, it does seem that Joanna and Susanna probably also had devils cast out, because it said that the women were following who had devils cast out. The women, plural, had devils cast out of them. We are only told about Mary Magdalene, but it would appear that the other women also had devils cast out of them. Very interesting. So now let us take a quick look at the Joseph Smith translation of these 3 verses. Okay, first of all, verse 3, very minor, states here at the end, which ministered unto him of their substance is corrected, who ministered unto him with their substance. Minor corrections. In verse 2, it says, and certain women which had been healed is corrected, certain women who had been healed. Very minor. But we do have this in verse 1, very interesting here, where it says, preaching and shewing the glad tidings of the kingdom of God, and the 12 were with him. We have this correction here. Preaching and shewing the glad tidings of the kingdom of God, and the 12 who were ordained of him were with him. So we're now making a distinction between the disciples and the apostles. Now it doesn't exactly call them apostles here, but it makes that distinction. The 12 who were ordained. There are other disciples. Christ has many followers, many disciples, but the 12 have now been ordained and they are going with him. But I'm going to leave that here. We will pick this up in our next video, which is going to be in Matthew. So I will see you there.